Hello, this is a guitar lesson based on finger picking. So we're going to do some finger picking on the guitar, and we're going to learn a song that is based largely on that. So when we play the guitar and we play single notes, finger picking, we normally try and alternate between the index and the middle finger, like that. And the fingers come to rest on the adjacent string, which is really good. It damps that string and you get a really powerful note. When we're finger picking arpeggios, chords and things like that, we tend to use a different technique, which is free stroke. And it goes like this. Your sort of fingers hover over the strings and we just curl that finger up like that. And it doesn't touch any other strings. It just plucks that string just quite gently, and it goes like that. I'm going to zoom in so you can see that a little bit clearer. So the fingers hover over the strings. The thumb normally takes the bass note. So on this particular chord, we're going to play the open 6th string. And then the index finger for this particular pattern is always going to play the G string. The middle finger is always going to play the B string. Oops, I caught 2 there. And then the ring finger is going to play the 1st string, the E string. So you've got this like that. So if you're new to finger style guitar, just try that out a few times, and it might be reminiscent of songs. There are a few songs that use that pattern. Okay, once you've got used to that, we'll do a little bit more complicated pattern, and what we'll do is we'll go down the guitar like that, and then we'll come back up again. So, or in terms of pitch, we'll go from the bottom up to the top and then back down. So we've got 6, we're playing 6 quavers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you just let the strings ring on, and they just ring on naturally till they eventually die down like that. Okay, and you don't really want to make it too loud, and you don't want to pull the strings out like that. You just need to just lightly brush them. So we're going to look a little bit further. I'm going to start looking at the chords now. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some fairly basic open chords. So we're going to use the C chord. And for the C chord, the thumb has to move down onto the 5th string, so that we're playing the bass note of the C chord there, which is a C note. Like that. And we're going to alternate that with an A minor chord. So to get to the A minor, all you've got to do is move that ring finger down and onto the G string at the 2nd fret. So you get this sound. You have a few goes at that, and get used to that kind of movement where you're concentrating on both hands at the same time. Both sets of fingers are moving independently of each other, which can be quite difficult. And we're going to go through the chords, and we're going to use the song Hallelujah, which is a Leonard Cohen song, and very, very famous. Everybody's sung it, and why not? So this is what we're going to use. In addition to the C and the A minor, we're going to use an F chord, and I'm just going to use the basic F chord, which is 1, 1, 2, 3. And for that one, your thumb has to go down to the 4th string. Standard G chord shape, thumb onto the 6th string for this one. Now you might say to me, you know, why did you put fingers down on strings that you aren't going to play? So on a G chord, you've got a finger on that 5th string there, playing a B note. In this pattern, we're not going to play that. But what I'm suggesting is that for ease of playing and learning just at the moment, stick with your standard chord shapes that you already know, rather than trying to do something different. And then we've got, I think there's an E7 chord as we go through, which is 2 fingers, and it looks like that. And again, you could get away with just putting 1 finger down, but I'm suggesting you stick to the E7 chord like that. So I'm going to play through the song really, really slowly and try and sing it as best I can. Okay. Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord up to F. You don't really G care for music, do you? Back to G. Okay, and we'll break there. We'll go on to the next line, and now in the next line we've got some chords that don't last for a whole bar, so you can't get all the way through your pattern. So for those chords, and they're coming up, it will be an F and a G chord. All you do is you play 3 notes. Well, I played 4 there. Okay, so when we come through to, I think the lyrics are the 4th and the 5th. So it goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, like that. And we're just going to play 3 notes on each of those. Then we're going to go back to a full pattern. So let's go from that line. It goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor falls, the major lifts, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Now, if you're not sure of what those lyrics are talking about, when they're talking about the 4th and the 5th, they're talking about the 4th chord in the key, and the 5th chord in that key, the minor chord, and then it goes on back to a major chord. So it almost tells you what the chords are through the lyrics, which is very good of Leonard. We'll go on to the chorus. Hallelujah. Extra A minors. C and C, F and G and A minor and F again, G, E7, minor. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. There you go, and it's as simple as that. Do it slowly to start with. You will find it difficult. Nothing is easy on the guitar, but have fun.